We are live. Welcome back. Today's piece is called The Reversal Evidence is Already Here. And in the past 7 days, my gosh, there have been 3 pieces of separate evidence that have landed in 3 separate corners of medicine. A Japanese chemistry group published vitamin K conjugates that triple neural stem cell differentiation. Verta Health releases ongoing data from over 100,000 type 2 diabetics, and BMJ Nutrition Pool 12 trial showing a single cup of legumes a day cuts hypertension risk by roughly 30%. So all of those are a mouthful. What do they actually mean? Well, these are basically 3 different signals, right? 1 week covering neuro, metabolic, and cardiovascular, and not 3 different stories. They're actually the same story being told in 3 different ways. And if you are a person who has a HbA1c that is up, your blood pressure is greater than what it should be, or you have a parent with Alzheimer's and you're told that you're going to just watch and wait, this piece is for you. Now, you have been told 3 things this year that is not true. That your prediabetes is a one-way street, that your blood pressure needs a pill, and that the fog settling behind your eyes is just what happens when you get older. In the last 7 days, 3 signals have landed contradicting all 3 of those statements. Did you know neurons can regenerate 3 times greater than their baseline rate? That means you can triple the speed of neuronal nerve regeneration. Type 2 diabetes has been reversed in over 100,000 people through nutrition. And 1 cup of lentils cuts hypertension risk by roughly 30%. Wow. None of these things are speculative. None of these things are alternative. They're actually sitting in peer-reviewed journal, while general practice is still reading from a script that was written way before they existed. The reversal evidence is here already, and the translation is what is lagging. So, the first signal. This is Neuro. Hirota and Suhara at the Shibaura Institute of Technology, published in ACS Chemical Neuroscience, shows that synthesized conjugates of vitamin K and retinoic acid triple the differentiation of neural stem cells into mature neurons, with confirmed blood-brain barrier penetration in their model. That means that it actually crosses the brain. It's amazing. The compounds themselves are synthetic and not on a pharmacy shelf, but the pathway they activate, which is the retinoid X receptor and the vitamin K dependent gamma carboxylation of neuronal proteins, what a mouthful. These 2 pathways basically respond to dietary intake of vitamin K2. Natto carries roughly 1100 micrograms per 100 grams. Hard cheeses sit in the 50 to 75 micrograms range. The point is not to swallow a research compound. The point is that the pathway being activated by the compound is the same pathway that you can support nutritionally. And the brain has retained its differentiation machinery into your 50s. That means even if you're over 50s, your brain has the ability to actually use this and then go down that pathway. Great news. Reinforcing the neuronal signature or the neuronal signal is a Texas A&M group that published a nasal spray exosome preparation that suppresses the NLRP3 inflammasome and rescue mitochondrial function in the models of neurodegeneration. Again, you cannot buy the spray, but the inflammasome target is reachable nutritionally. Basically, what it's saying is that by utilizing this compound, it reduces inflammation inside the brain. So, what does the compound equate to nutritionally? Sulforaphane. You get this from broccoli sprout extracts. They also downregulate the NLRP3 inflammasome. EPA, right? That's the omega-3 fatty acid at 2 grams a day, modulates the inflammation inside the brain. And exercise, 150 minutes a week of moderate aerobic exercise, raises BDNF, which is brain-derived neurotrophic factor, with hippocampal volume increase documented in the PNAS paper by Erickson in 2011. So not even new stuff, right? The brain you have has substrates to regenerate. The question is whether you feed it the right things to help it regenerate. Exciting stuff. Now, the second signal we have is metabolic. This is from Verta Health. And Verta Health has an ongoing data set that has been building on Hallberg's 2018 paper in diabetes therapy. Basically, 100,000 type 2 diabetics were enrolled in nutritional ketosis. That means you fast, don't eat, and allow the body to burn fat instead of sugar. 94% reduced or eliminated their insulin need. 94%. Average HbA1c fell by 3 percentage points. And there was a 13% body weight sustained weight loss. This is not a small trial. It's 100,000 people achieving what most national guidelines, including RACGP, chronic diseases pathway, still describes as a one-way progressive condition. As in diabetes has no cure and it's just going to get worse over time. The mismatch between the data and the guidance is not subtle. Reversal is not a fringe claim anymore. It is now a dominant signal and it can be done at scale. I can't believe this, right? The mechanism itself is worth saying out loud. De novo lipogenesis, meaning your liver converts excess carbohydrates into triglycerides that drives fatty infiltration of the liver and the pancreas. Once the pancreas is fat loaded, beta cell functions basically fail. Roy Taylor Group at Newcastle demonstrated in these two landmark trials, Counterpoint in 2011 and Counterpoint in 2016. Remove the fat load through sustained nutritional ketosis and the beta cells recover. This is the engine behind the Verta numbers. The RACGP Chronic Disease Handbook still frames type 2 diabetes as progressive. The Verta cohort now says that it is reversible. It's the same condition, same biology, two different frames, and only one is keeping pace with the evidence, and you have the latest evidence. The third signal is cardiovascular. This is from BMJ Nutrition 2026, May this year. It pulled 12 studies and found that 170 grams of legumes each day, roughly basically one cooked cup of legumes, was associated with approximately a 30% reduction in hypertension risk. One cup of legumes delivers 18 grams of protein, 16 grams of fiber, and 731 milligrams of potassium. Mechanistically, this is 3 interventions in one bowl. Potassium acts on the renal tubule, magnesium relaxes the vascular smooth muscle, and the fiber is fermented to short-chain fatty acids that signal through the gut's vascular axis. 1 cup, a 30% reduction in risk. The blood pressure conversation in primary care still tends to start at the prescription pad. Maybe we should start it in the kitchen. So, you stack the cardiovascular intervention and the effect compounds. Beetroot juice, 250 milliliters a day. The Webb 2008 paper, dietary nitrate converts to nitric oxide in the salivary pathway, right? 4 to 5 millimeters of mercury reduction in systolic blood pressure. Amazing. Magnesium glycinate, 300 to 400 milligrams at bedtime. Now you have 3 independent mechanisms layer. Potassium load, nitric oxide production, magnesium-driven smooth muscle relaxation, none of them pharmaceutical. None of them require a prescription. None of them are competing with each other. The blood pressure conversations could start in the kitchen with a beetroot and a glass of water before bed. Wow. Amazing. So these 3 signals are not 3 separate stories. They're basically one story in 3 separate silos. Brain insulin resistance, what some authors call type 3 diabetes, is mechanistically the same as hyperglycemic injury that produces endothelial dysfunction in your vessels and beta cell failures in your pancreas. Put differently, all we're saying is that the insulin resistance is high sugar causing damage to the blood vessels inside the brain. The NLRP3 inflammasome that the Texas AM group is targeting in the neurons is the same cascade firing as plaque that develops inside the arteries. And this is exactly the same that is happening inside the pancreatic islets or the beta cells, right? Which is your pancreas that produces the insulin. So hyperglycemia, high blood sugar, hyperinsulinemia, high insulin levels, chronic low-grade inflammation causing mitochondrial dysfunction basically affects all organ systems. Fix the metabolic substrate, fix the actual underlying nutritional intake, and you don't change one trajectory, you change it all. But is that so surprising? We are humans. We have one body. We process everything through this one body. What would make you think that there's one pathway for the eyes, one pathway for the gut, one pathway for the brain? No, you're all interlinked. You are the common thing in between it all. Well, why hasn't this reached the GP visit as yet? Well, guidelines have to follow randomized controlled trials. Trials follow funding, funding follow patients. Lentils are not patentable, right? The American Diabetes Association 2026 guideline expands the GLP-1 receptor coverage, but it does not expand nutritional therapy. Oh well. The WHO projects antimicrobial resistance causing $412 billion by 2035. The diabetes equivalent is even larger than that. Meanwhile, Consumer Labs 2025 testing found that 17 out of 20 lavender oils felt authenticity, right? And several M&N products exceeded niacin upper limits. Turmeric extracts at high dose carry hepatotoxicity. The system is doing what the system does, right? None of this is conspiracy. It is all structural. The clinician who reads ahead of the guideline is your unit of change. A 7-day protocol that you can begin this week without permission. Day one cup of cooked legumes, lentils, chickpeas, black beans. Day 2, upgrade your water, filtered, pinch of unrefined salt, target 35 milliliters per kilogram of body weight. Basically, 2 liters a day minimum, right? Day 3, protein first breakfast, 30 grams minimum plus a piece of hard cheese or a small portion of natto for the vitamin K2. Day 4, 1 gram of DHA for a tested source, And day 5, read every supplement label in your cupboard against the consumer lab data and discard the ones that actually fail. Day 6, 30 minutes of walking, ideally outdoors for brain activation and circadian rhythm entrainment. Day 7, book the consult and bring the data with you. 7 days, 3 signals, 1 beautiful trajectory. Your body already knows how to reverse the damage. It's been doing it for 300,000 years. The evidence base for that stated crossed a threshold this past week. Neuro, metabolic, cardiovascular. 3 peer-reviewed signals in 7 days, none of which require a prescription plan to act on. None is alternative medicine. This is the literature. Read carefully. If you are pre-diabetic, watching your blood pressure climb, and you've been told to watch and wait, you don't have to wait. The reversal evidence is already here. drhblow.com for more latest news. I'll see you in there.